Hey everybody, it's Andrew Martin coming to you with another video. As always, I hope that wherever you are, that you are happy, that you're healthy, and that you're smiling. And I wanted to share with you today a really powerful clearing technique that I have been using and that I've been sharing with some of my friends and my clients on how to release any energies that don't belong to us. This idea was originally, and this technique was originally given to me by Jessica Lanyadoo, who I had a reading with about a month ago, and she's super amazing, super powerful, super connected astrologer and psychic medium. And I was having some personal issues that I just wasn't really able to unravel, and some things that had created patterns in my life that were really negative and that had become very draining and that had started to become very limiting. And I just couldn't seem to, through all of my meditations, all of my techniques, all of my journaling, all of the things that, we're so good at doing spiritually to kind of clear ourselves and to heal ourselves, I wasn't able to get to the bottom of a couple of these core issues. And what she helped me realize was that for a myriad of reasons, I was holding on to energies that did not belong to me. So in essence, I was trying to solve a puzzle that was not mine to solve. And, as we move forward into unity consciousness, and as we move forward into a world that is all about everybody taking responsibility for their own stuff and their own energy and their own creations, this becomes a very important part of the process for us to let go of stuff that doesn't belong to us. Now, there are a lot of reasons why we may be holding on to energies that don't belong to us. It may be because we are intuitive or empathic, and so we're very sensitive to energies, and so without knowing it, we may have a tendency to absorb other people's energies and to hang on to them without really even being consciously aware of it. Or it may be a karmic agreement or a soul contract or something that we agreed to do when we came into this lifetime to hold energies for a person or a group of people or the collective in general. Now, I want to stress the importance of this exercise. It's not necessarily important that you understand the why, because what I have found is through this process is the why usually comes after. Like usually after I go through this process, then I'm sort of shown why I did this, or it becomes clear to me and I get an understanding of why I have agreed to do this. This is really a feeling exercise, and this is really about getting in touch with feelings within ourselves that we haven't been able to unravel, or patterns that we haven't been able to clear, and we just don't know why. We can't seem to get to the bottom of it, and we've done everything that we can, and we just can't seem to figure it out. And I think that this will really help a lot of us to clear and to release a lot of those energies that don't even belong to us. Because what happens is when we have energies that we are hanging on to that don't belong to us, that are not ours, what it does is unconsciously we may understand why we're holding on to them. On a soul level, we may understand why we're holding on to them. But on a conscious, rational, ego mind level, what happens is the energies that don't belong to us create patterns within us that can become negative or lower vibrational or damaging or unhealthy, because what they're basically doing is they are coming back to us for our acknowledgement and our understanding so that they can be understood, so that they can be felt, which is the most important part of this, and then in turn can be released. So this is really for any of those areas that we have feelings or just thoughts or beliefs or patterns that aren't healthy anymore, but we can't get to the bottom of why we're still hanging on to them and why they still start manifesting in our life. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a cure-all for everything. This certainly is not the magic pill or the silver bullet. However, I think that as we continue to evolve, and as we continue to awaken, as we continue to unfold and go through this whole process of awakening as a collective, we will find that there are things that we've been hanging on to that don't necessarily belong to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through the brief steps of how to do this process and how I found it works for me. And then you can write them down or just make note of them. And then I would encourage you to do this on your own time or on your own, because it's going to be unique for everybody, and the process is going to be specific to each individual. So it doesn't necessarily work for me to walk you through it. However, I think sharing the steps with you is important so that you can do this for yourself. Now, first, I want to say that this is not a scary thing. I have found that for myself, it has been a little emotional in some points of doing this exercise, but it's always in a really healthy way. It always is in a very cathartic way, in a way that feels very freeing and very liberating. And like I said, for me, the challenge was to turn off my mind because this isn't really about an understanding. This isn't a logical, rational exercise. This is a feeling exercise. And what I have found is that once I've been able to get through the feeling, once I've been able to release the energies and send them back to the people or the person that they belong to, then the realization of what this is all about, it kind of just shows up and is illuminated for me. And then I'm able to, satisfy that logical need that we all have and the rational mind need to kind of understand why. So the first thing that you're going to do, and I have been doing this for multiple patterns within my life. I've been doing this kind of every day in a sense, or at least a couple of times a week, depending on the issue that I'm dealing with or that I'm trying to clear. So this isn't necessarily something that you may only do once. You may only do it once if you only have one issue or one area that needs clearing. But what I'm finding is that the majority of us who are hanging on to things that don't belong to us energetically, this is going to be kind of an ongoing process. It gets easier every time. It gets more fluid every time that I do it. And it becomes just like any other exercise, meditation or whatever. It becomes an easier thing to connect to and to find that space within me. And then I find that I actually look forward to it because what I found, again, is on the other side of a lot of those feelings, once I've cleared them, I realized that, wow, this is the understanding I've been looking for. And once I understand it, then I can proceed with more of an open mind, more of a clear idea of exactly what it is that's been happening. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find whatever issue, pick one, if it's just a sense or a feeling or a pattern that you aren't able to break, and you're going to want to sit. You're going to want to center yourself. You're going to want to go into your meditative state. If you do any grounding or protection exercises before, you can do that. And you're going to want to just find the feeling in your physical body where you find this feeling manifesting. For myself, a lot of it was in my gut between my second and third chakra. And so whenever I would have these feelings, I would just sit down, if I was at home and I had the time, and then I would just sit down and find it immediately. Or if I was out and about and I was finding this reaction and this response coming up for me, then I would just make a note of it. I would kind of identify, okay, this is where I feel it, so that when I got home, I was able to recreate it. So you're going to want to find the spot in your body where you feel the feeling and you feel the energy around this issue, whatever this issue is. And you're just going to want to sit back and you're going to want to settle into that feeling, and you're going to want to focus on the area of the body with the intention of allowing that feeling to grow, of allowing that physical sensation to grow within you. And you're going to identify that physically. That's the first thing. Then you're going to ask your team to come in, whether it's your guides, your angels, your higher self, your loved ones, God, whatever, entities and beings that you work with and that you feel comfortable with. If you don't have a team of non-physical helpers that you usually work with, I find that you can just say, calling on my higher self to come in and assist me. So call in your team and say, please show me or tell me what percentage of this feeling does not belong to me. And then what I have found is a number automatically pops into my head. Like sometimes it's 70%, sometimes it's 20%, sometimes it's 50, whatever the number is that pops up into your head, just trust that that is the right number. And then you're going to say, okay, for today's exercise, my intention is to focus on the 70% that does not belong to me. And then you're going to ask your team to come in and help you remove it and release it, and just say, please come in and help me remove and release this 70% or whatever your number is that does not belong to me. And then you're going to say simply in your meditative state, you can either say it in your mind or you can say it out loud, please show me or tell me who this belongs to. Now this is the interesting part, is for myself, sometimes I'm finding that these issues, this energy that I have taken on, either consciously or unconsciously, belongs to one or two people. Sometimes I find that it's a long list of people that I had completely forgotten about or didn't even realize I had that connection with. Sometimes I get the answer that it's just the collective or society as a whole. Whatever it is, just trust that you will be shown these names or shown these faces or shown these people, and you're just going to say, please lovingly send back whatever does not belong to me to this person or people or to this group. And then you're going to allow it to be released. And you may find that it's a pretty quick process. For myself, I found that a lot of times I'm realizing that I'm taking on a lot of stuff, for the collective. And so there's a long list of people. There's a long list of people, and it's just name after name or face after face. And each time that it comes up, I say, please lovingly send it back to them. And I just allow myself to feel it being cleared from my body. Then I go to the next name or the next face, same thing, please lovingly send it back to them. Then I allow it to be cleared from my body. And it may be a process of a few minutes, it may be very quick. You'll get to a point where you start to feel that there's nothing left, and then you can ask, okay, who else does this belong to? If you get no answer, or if there's no clear response, then what you can say is, whatever has not been named or whatever has not been claimed, please send it back to the fires of my transformation. And basically what you're saying is, if there's just this energy that you've been hanging on to that really kind of doesn't belong to anybody, or it's been a big shift in the collective and it's just sort of hanging out there in the ether and you've been absorbing it, you can send this into your own fires of transformation to allow yourself to be transformed and to allow yourself to be healed beyond whatever it is that you're hanging on to. Then you're going to wait again for this physical sensation in your body to kind of settle, and then you're going to say, okay, now that I have cleared whatever does not belong to me and released it back to the owner, please fill that new space within me, or that empty space within me, with love and light. And then you're going to sit and you're going to picture, golden light or pink light or white light coming in to fill that spot again, wherever in your physical body that you felt it being removed from, to now create a new space within you that is healed energetically, and that is a healthier energetic spot. And then you're going to just kind of sit, let those new energies come in, and then you're going to ask yourself, okay, what percentage now has been cleared? And then you'll find, of that original number, the 70% or whatever, you may get all of it, you may get half of it, you may only get 10% of it. Sometimes it's going to take us a little bit longer to let go of these patterns and to let go of this energy. Whatever that number is, just say thank you, show compassion and love for yourself, say thank you to yourself for being able to let go of it, say thank you to your light team for coming in to help you heal it and to release it, and then you're just going to go on with your day. Now, this seems like a pretty simple process, but I think what you'll find is, as you continue to do it, you're going to find that, not only are you going to get more realization of what it is that you've been hanging on to, and perhaps even why you've been hanging on to it, but I think you're also going to find that and this is a really interesting thing, is the people a lot of times that I am sending it back to, on an energetic level, they are going to sense a lot of the times that you're sending something back to them that is not yours anymore, and you've been carrying it for them, and now it's their turn to take care and take responsibility for their share of it. You may find that they reach out to you. They may email you, they may text you, they may call you, sometimes out of the blue, sometimes it may be someone you haven't heard from in a long time, and they may say, oh, I was thinking about you, or you may bump into them and like, oh my gosh, you were just on my mind. That's so crazy that I just saw you. And again, it's very important that you understand that this is your opportunity to create those healthy energetic boundaries, and to realize that it is not your responsibility to hold on to their stuff anymore. A lot of times we make karmic agreements, or we make soul agreements before we incarnate into our physical bodies, to hold on to stuff for people, because for whatever reason, either we need to learn the lesson of hanging on to it for someone else, or they need to have us hang on to it until such time as they're ready energetically to deal with it. Whatever the reason, that is not necessarily as important as finding the spot in your body, allowing yourself to tune into that feeling, asking what percentage of this does not belong to you, asking your guides or your teams to come in and help you release it, and then asking them to show you who or tell you who it belongs to, then say lovingly send this back to whoever it belongs to. Go through the whole process, then ask finally, is there anybody else? If nobody else comes in, then you state, whatever has not been named, whatever has not been claimed, please send it to the fires of my transformation. Allow yourself to feel that final energy being released from your body, and then ask your light team to please now fill that spot that was holding the other energy. Now please fill it with love and light. So that's the process. I hope that this helps you. I think that especially in these times of crazy transformation and energetic all stuff all over the place, I think what we're finding is that a lot of times we're not even aware that we're hanging on to stuff for other people, especially if we're very energetically sensitive. And the most important thing is to have your intention be just a loving one. This is not about seeking revenge. This is not about saying, I'm going to get you and now it's your turn to hang on to this. It's just about understanding that at this time it's all about everybody taking the responsibility for their own stuff. And when we can begin to identify those areas of our life that we just can't seem to figure it out, why do I keep feeling this way? It may be because you're hanging on to something that doesn't belong to you. So as always, I appreciate your feedback. Feel free to go to my website, feel free to go to my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. Send me some feedback on this and let me know how it works for you. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're well. I love you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.